If you're tired of breaking promises to yourself and not reaching your goals, you're not alone. But I've seen firsthand that with the right system, not more hustle, you can close the gap between your dreams and reality. So in this video, I'm going to share you my in-depth summary of the book, The 12-Week Year, and walk you through a step-by-step plan you can start today using my 12-week year printable or my 12-week year Notion template. Now, here's the thing. Most people don't fail at reaching their goals because they aren't working hard enough. They don't reach them because the way they're working makes it almost impossible to follow through. So let's fix that. Do you ever wonder why New Year's resolutions a lot of the times usually flop by February? It's because annual goals feel like you're staring at a mountaintop from miles away. When you're staring at a mountaintop miles away, it seems so far off. You don't really feel any urgency to start climbing, looking at something so far away. The 12-week year flips that on its script. Instead of squinting through a telescope at a distant goal, it hands you a magnifying glass. So suddenly your target is right in front of you. It's sharp, it's close, and it's impossible to ignore. So here's the big shift. The authors of the 12-week year book say goal getting isn't about willpower or working harder. It starts with your mindset. Most people think in years, but that's the trap. When you break your year into 12-week year sprints, you feel the pressure, you feel the excitement, and you feel that deadline 4 times a year. So here's how to use that shift. Stop only making annual plans. Instead, I want you to pick 1 or 2 big goals and give yourself just 12 weeks to achieve them. Watch how your focus, your urgency, and your results really skyrocket when you start thinking in 12-week year sprints. By the way, if you guys want a deep dive on applying this so you can reach your 2025 goals by the end of this year, be sure to sign up for my free workshop called Finish the Year Strong that I'm hosting very soon. You can sign up at the link in the description. Okay, so now you have that mindset shift, but let's be real. Most people are setting goals without ever asking, where is it that I actually want to go? That's like jumping in your car, hitting the gas, but never putting an address in the GPS. No wonder you're going to end up lost, distracted, and just driving in circles in this metaphor. So the 12-week year says before you set any targets, you need a vision. Let me show you how I teach this to my students. Okay, so I want you to think of your vision like your sun goals. Okay, we'll write sun goals here. And these are the big, bold dreams that you're shooting for. These are like your 5 to 10 year goals. This is the dream, the big vision, the quantum leap. Just why I call my newsletter the Quantum Leap Club if you're part of my newsletter. Okay, so if you could wave a magic wand, what would your life look like in 10 years? These are your sun goals that are going to help you create that vision. Then you can think of what the book calls your midterm goals. These are your 1 to 3 year goals as your moon goals. Like I said, this is what the book calls your midterm goals, and these are sort of like the life progress markers to help you get to that larger vision. So these are still big goals that you're shooting for, and you could probably achieve them in 1 to 3 years. And these would be like the life milestones, like I said, that get you to that larger sun goal, that bigger dream and vision. And your short-term goals, they're the star goals that I'll put here. And these star goals are the ones that you leap between on your way to the moon. Les Brown says, shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. That's where this metaphor came from, which is why I call these star goals your quarterly goals, your 12-week year goals. And then we'll talk about what I call your earth goals, your down to earth goals in just a second. Those are those tangible weekly goals. We'll save that for just a bit, but I'll go ahead and write it so you can see the whole framework. But here's the catch. According to the book, most people mess up their vision in 4 different ways. They either 1, they don't take it seriously. It's not just a wish. Your vision should act as your North Star. 2, they pick a vision that isn't meaningful to them. It should excite you, not your parents, not your boss, not something you should be doing. This vision should not be about making other people happy, but making yourself happy. A third mistake is they think too small. So if your dream doesn't scare you just a bit, it's not big enough. And then 4, they never connect their vision to their daily actions. So dreaming without doing is just daydreaming. So how do you avoid these traps and actually use your vision to fuel your 12-week year? First, get clear on your vision. What's your big, inspiring dream for your life? And make sure it's yours and not someone else's. Then break it into STAR goals, those bite-sized milestones you'll hit in the next 12 weeks. Write your vision somewhere that you'll see it every day, on your wall, in your planner, or even on your phone or like your vision board on your phone wallpaper. And then tell someone you trust, keyword you trust, about it. Sharing your vision really makes it real. And if you want extra help and not just my 12-week year Notion template or PDF, be sure to check out my Productive Boss Notion system, which includes not only my 12-week year template, but also my vision board template that helps you set your vision according to your values and create a vision board to match and create a vision board that really works. Okay, if you've zoned out, I want you to snap back. This part is the meat and the potatoes of the 12-week year. Without it, your dreams are just daydreams. So imagine building a house. You can think of your vision as the blueprint, but if you never start building, you'll never move into that dream house, which is why discipline 2 is all about actually laying down those bricks week by week. Here's how it works. Set your 12-week year goals, those quarterly goals, based on your big vision, your moon goals. But don't stop there. Your 12-week year splits goals into 2 types. Lag goals are the big result you want, like hitting 100K on YouTube by the end of the year. Then you have those lead goals. Those are the actions that you control, like posting a video each week. For your 12-week year sprint goals, you can set a lag goal, for example, gain 30,000 subscribers this quarter, or a lead goal, like post a new video every day for 12 weeks. The magic, lead goals are totally in your control, so you always really know what to do next. But how do you actually plan this execution? First, pick your 12-week year goals. So you can make it a chunk of a moon goal, like a fraction of a moon goal, or just a powerful lead goal on its own. And these are going to be your star goals. 2, make it SMART, which we've all heard of: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. The book says state your goals positively, make them realistic but challenging, and always assign accountability. 3, set monthly priorities, which are basically just monthly goals that move you closer to your 12-week year goals. And then break your 12 weeks into 3 months. Each month you're going to set a mini goal that moves you closer to that main target. So in my 12-week year Notion template and in the PDF template, I have a way to break down your 12-week year goals into monthly priorities using like a bird's eye view technique to strategize each month of that quarter in a way that I really haven't seen in any other type of template. So be sure to check those out in the link below if you're interested in that strategy. Then number 4, I want you to decide on your tactics. These are your earth goals that I mentioned before because they're down to earth weekly actions that you're going to take. List the weekly actions you're going to take, those lead goals, and then you're going to track them. Also in my 12-week year templates, Notion or PDF, I have a weekly lead goal tracker, your weekly scorecard, to track your progress on your lead goals. You're going to track these each week in your weekly scorecard, and you want to be hitting at least 85% for each goal each week to be able to hit your 12-week year goals. The book has a lot of research behind that. And then remember, you're not just hoping for results, you're building them brick by brick, week by week, like building that dream house from the vision, which is your blueprint. But let's be honest, setting goals is really the fun part for a lot of us, but actually hitting them, that's where most people fall off track. If you want to reach your 12-week year goals, you need more than just good intentions. You need to control the process every single week. So think of it like driving a race car. Drivers don't just point the wheel at the finish line and hope for the best. No, they check their speed, they adjust the steering, they make pit stops to refuel. They're really controlling that process. And that's how you win the race. And that's how you hit your goals, by controlling the process. So discipline 3 is all about weekly and daily planning, plus those regular check-ins to see if you're actually moving forward, to calibrate your process, to control that process. The 12-week year recommends 3 types of time blocks to be able to do this. Strategic blocks. This is where you will set aside 1 3-hour chunk each week for deep focus work on your most important goal. Then there's buffer blocks. This is where you will add 1 or 2 30 to 60 minute blocks each day for admin tasks and unexpected stuff, because life always happens. And then there's also breakout blocks. This is where you will schedule a 3-hour block for non-work activities to recharge. And yes, rest is part of the process, so I love that they put that in there. But it's not just about planning. You need to audit your time as well. So at the end of each day, during your wind down work routine, shout out to you guys that use my 3-7 time blocking method, want to look back and ask, did I actually do what I planned? Was it moving me closer to my goals, what I did that day? Am I really getting done what I set out and what I planned to do? So how do you make this all work in real life? Like I said, 1, you're going to use that weekly planning. You're going to spend about 20 minutes each week. The book says on a Monday, but you're going to pick the day that works best for you. For me, it's Fridays, because I want to walk into the week knowing what I'm doing. You're going to spend that time planning exactly what you're going to do, those keystone actions. You want to make sure sure they're in your calendar, like those strategic blocks. Also, to make this work, you're going to do that daily review. You're going to take 5 minutes at the end of each day to check, did my actions align with my vision? Am I on track? Am I doing what I'm really supposed to do? Is this stuff really moving the needle that I'm doing? I do this, like I said, during my wind down work routine using my 3-7 time blocking method. If you don't use that method, just try to do it at the end of each day. And then 3, you're going to keep your vision visible. Reread your vision frequently, put it in your planner, on your wall, as your phone wallpaper. Like I said, I revisit my vision and vision board each time I do a planning milestone. So anytime I plan the quarter, the month, the week, I look at that. For weekly accountability, the authors also suggest you join what they call a WHAM, a weekly accountability meeting with a friend or a group to share your wins and your challenges, because accountability equals results. Because the truth is, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems, as James Clear said, and your support, which is why creating a system of accountability can be the secret sauce to your success. So here's a powerful research-backed breakdown of the power of accountability. So the statistic is, if you simply decide on a goal, your chance of success is about 25%. If you plan when you'll take action, that increases to 40%. If you add a plan for how you'll act, then you go up to achieve the statistic of 50% achievement. If you tell someone about your goal, your chances jump up to 65%. But if you set a specific accountability appointment with someone to check in, your success rate goes up to 95%. So if you've been struggling to follow through, the research is so clear. Accountability isn't just helpful, it's nearly everything. And this is actually why I started the accountability component of my new program, Systemize Your Goals Accelerator. You not only get the one-to-one mentorship, but you also get weekly accountability coaching, because I know it's going to help you reach your goals faster and easier. And I will be opening up a few spots very soon to join my accelerator that includes this accountability coaching. But a heads up, last time I opened it up, every single spot filled straight from the wait list before I even had a chance to announce it publicly. So if you're even a little bit curious, hit the link in the description to get on the wait list so you're first in the know about how to work with me in that accountability group. Okay, now I know somebody needs to hear what I'm about to say. Let's face it, you can have the best goals and the perfect plan, but if you're constantly distracted or running on empty, you will never hit your targets. Time management isn't just a productivity hack. It's the secret weapon for actually following through. So think of our 12-week journey like a road trip. If you're always stopping for snacks, texting behind the wheel, or driving with no gas, you're never going to reach your destination. Not only do you need a reliable map like your vision, you need a focused driver. Discipline 5 is all about managing your time like a pro, and the 12-week year says eliminate distractions and create routines that make focus automatic. So here are 3 ways to stay in the zone and do that. Put your phone away. Out of sight, out of mind. Another way is to use the Pomodoro method. Set a timer for focused work and then take a short break. And the third one that I like a lot is to play alpha wave study music, which is a science-based way to help you concentrate while you work. And you can stack these habits into a wind up work routine. When you start working, put your phone away, your timer goes on, the music starts, and then you're off to the races. So I use that every day when I get started with work. But productivity isn't just about that time management. You need a healthy foundation really to keep going strong. As a psychologist, I know this very well, which is why I teach my students my MAPS method to do each and every day. M for mindfulness, activities that keep you present and calm each day. You want to also do appreciation each day, like a daily gratitude practice. You want to incorporate pleasure in your day each day. So make time for things that you genuinely enjoy. And then the S in the MAPS is for self-care or self-compassion. Treat yourself well and recharge regularly. Now, you may be surprised, but even with all this, there's one more thing that can make or break your 12-week year success. Let me show you that now. So think of your journey like training for a championship. Champions don't just dream about winning. They show up, they do the work, and they own every step, even when it's tough. They don't blame the weather. They don't blame the referee. They take full ownership. The 12-week year authors say that high performers share one thing in common, which is accountability. Not the scary, like you're in trouble kind. Real accountability means taking ownership of your actions and results no matter what. So So here's how you can build that champion mindset. Resolve to never be the victim. Life happens, but you have the power to change your story. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Empower yourself to act no matter how tough things get. Be willing to take different action. Growth comes from trying new things and embracing the journey, not just chasing that finish line. Surround yourself with accountable people. Champions train with other champions, so find people who push you to level up. To strengthen your commitment, the book says the following. 1, have a strong desire. Know exactly why you want your goal. 2, identify your keystone action. What's the one action that moves the needle the most? 3, count the cost. Be honest about the effort and the sacrifices required. 4, act on commitments, not feelings. Don't wait for motivation. Take action even when you don't feel like it. And finally, remember, greatness is in the moment. Every day you have a choice. Will you show up as your best self, or will you just coast? Fall in love with delayed gratification and break up with the need for those instant results. The everyday journey is where greatness is really built, in those everyday actions. And like I mentioned earlier, if you guys want a deep dive on applying all this so you can reach your 2025 goals by the end of the year, be sure to sign up for my free workshop called Finish the Year Strong that I'm hosting very soon. You can sign up in the link in the description. And in the meantime, I want you to watch this video next to help you find time to actually do what's needed to reach your goals. Cheers to planning, manifesting, and enjoying your dream life. Namaste.